Hi, welcome to my channel. It's Ewa here, and if it's your first time here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I promise you are always going to come. You're always gonna be entertained with content that is gonna keep your head thinking. It's gonna address most of our existential problem of today as Africans. So without wasting much of your time, today I want to talk on a very essential topic, very integral, very important to our social fabric as Africans, and that's that is feminism. My issue, the issue I have with feminism, and when I say feminism, I mean the brand of feminism that most, I don't know if it would be right to say most of our Nigerian women, or say some of our Nigerian women are practicing. Okay, let me say some. The brand of feminism that some Nigerian women are practicing, the problem that I have with it. And I make do to say that I am not the only one that have this problem with it, but most men, and even some women do have problem with that brand of feminism. Not feminism in total, but that brand of feminism. Feminism, historically, feminism originated from the United States around the 1900s. I would have loved to have my fact. I would have loved to give you dates and names. All right, and I think I'm going to do that. Maybe in another video, I'm going to do that. Give you names, dates, how it started, and it started because women, American women of those days, started agitating to the fact that the American civil service and most things about the American system, the politics, business, the corporate businesses, was being very misogynistic, kind of. It's the men, it's that word it's a man's word. So it was prevalent, but it has been prevalent. But then that was when these women, because they've been educated, they now know what the men know, or most times even more than some men know. So they felt, okay, see what a man can do, a woman can do, or even better, like they say sometimes. So they started agitating that they should be allowed opportunities, the kind of opportunities that are allowed men. That a woman will be employed into the civil service and allowed to work and retire and progress through the this thing, the positions, become a director and all that. If it's in a private organization, she can rise up to be the manager or the director of the company and blah blah blah. That is how feminism was bettered. Now from the work, from work there, that is from being employment in civil service and other private organizations, it migrated into politics, that women should also be allowed into politics, talking about gender parity, and then most of all those things. Now, that they have to be this, they feel, like they say, women give politics human coloration, because women tend to have this more of human face, and then they tend to be more malleable, kind of, so them being around politics makes it, that tends to dilute it, not to be too acidic and too violent and all gra, that kind of a thing. So that's how feminism started. Basically, let's just wrap it up and say in one word, it was started to enforce the rights of women. that women should be recognized. It was first, if you know, the first feminists were the constructionists, that in what you call in philosophy deconstruction, because the most of social fabric then, the social order then, was woven around men. And most things, from the Bible, the Bible says man, the Bible recognized most of the time the priests that were ordained, the prophets, and all those things were men. Jesus fed 10,000 men and women and children. 10,000. So the Bible kept counting in all those things. It kept counting men, and then women and children will just be others. Will be regarded as others. That's how we kind of less of value that was placed on women. I'm not a Muslim, so I don't know how how Islam was able to capture the rights of women in the Quran. I don't want to go there. It's sensitive. Please let me stick to what I know, what I'm saying. So they wanted to deconstruct that social order, that belief that things of life, or that the world is that it's a man's world, that that was in an anomaly, and now having gotten to the stage that life has gotten, and women are now educated, then they now have skills that men have, that they should be allowed to participate in what men participate, and that's it. So now, when Africa, of course, when civilization started coming to Africa, all the part of all those things, and then maybe what Western civilization, movies, and all that. When the Europeans came, they didn't come here with feminism. They weren't interested in all that. They were interested in conquering us, and then in exploiting the resources that they can possibly exploit as much as possible that they can before colonizing, before we will be handed independent, before I go up, make it be said they don't collect within the fee collect, that kind of a thing, So now, due to after the colonialists left, due to movies, and because people now, most women now started traveling abroad, going to study abroad. They saw what is happening over there. They saw they saw the rights of women, and then blah blah blah. That's how now feminism started shifting from advocating for the rights of women, for in let's say in work, in politics, and in the church and other places, because it is feminism. Let me keep it in line. Feminism shifted from this and then started entering into the house. It started entering into the homes, into the families. I wanted to say that it is feminism. One of the results of feminism is that today there are now female pastors. Today you can now see the Anglican Church now have priests that are women. The Anglican Church have priests that are women. That is the inclusion of women. Even in the Catholic Church, it is being debated. It was being debated that women should be ordained priests as well. Not reverend sisters, now priests. It is because of feminism that the reverend sisters were reverend sisters. That this thing was allowed to start working. That is the nuns. I know it's been in ancient time, but that's to when women, because of enlightenment, because of the rights of women, because of that advocacy, women started getting, being given participatory roles in all these things, in the Eucharist, in the liturgy of the church. As moving from that, so it's not just about politics, but the advocacy and the drive of the the those who started feminism, it made waves that it did not just affect politics and social lives alone. It also affected the religious circle and all that. That's why you now have all those things, all those things taking changes and accepting women in roles that they hitherto weren't allowed to accept. But now the problem is that now recently feminism is now shifting from that advocacy role that it was supposed to be, which is so wonderful, excellent, demand for women's rights. A woman should be employed. Whatever is due to a woman should be given to a woman and not denied her just for the fact because she is a woman, and not because she's not qualified or because of whatever, but because she is a woman. No, nobody accepts that. That is very, very wrong. They say a man of quality is not threatened by women's equality. It is only men that are half-baked, men who are threatened that the women are coming to take their roles because they are half-baked, because they do not possess the requisite skills. That is why they are scared. But men of quality are not threatened by women equality. So because of that, pursuing women's rights and asking for what is due women is totally right, and it's the right advocacy to pursue, and for that I am also a feminist. But the brand of feminism that is now being practiced by some Nigerian women and some African women, and not just African women but Americans, but I'm excusing the Americans because the society has a kind of accepted it, but as Africans, one of the things that we still hold is our family system. If our family system is destroyed, then of what is left of Africa will be destroyed. That is why they say when we're talking about in philosophy, when we're talking about culture borrowing, you have to be critical and rational enough to know what to borrow and what not to borrow. It is not everything that we see the white men doing that we are supposed to borrow. It's not everything that we should borrow. So now our family value system, our family system as Africans, if we allow it to be bastardized because of what we see in the Western world, then we are gone. I always say this. I don't know if I'm being an African conservative or conservative, or however I'm being conservative or conservationist, or however, I don't know the words how to say it. But I so much value some of our African values that are not animistic, that are not barbaric. So I so much value them that I do not subscribe to us borrowing Western, the Western way of doing those things. Some women, because they were so improperly raised, or because when they were being raised, they did not pay heed to the training of their parents, and then they grew up with a very wrong character, and they can't keep a man, because they can't keep a man, and they keep having terrible experiences with men. When you can't keep a man, what do you expect? It's been proven over and over again that it's not by ass, it's not by boobs, it's not by facial beauty, and it's not by wealth. It's not even because we have money, you've worked hard and you have money. That's not how you're gonna keep a man. I'm not saying, of course, men are terrible. Men are very, very, there are some terrible men. No matter what you do, you can't satisfy them. I understand. Okay? And some women have had terrible experiences with men for no fault of theirs. Possibly, but I don't know how possible it is that you keep having that one woman keep having issues from one guy to another guy, and then all these things have been none of our fault. it's possible anyway. Nothing is impossible. But now, because of some some women that have had terrible experiences with men, they now yes, men has come. They now conclude that men has come, and then they not only conclude that men has come, but then they would now also want all those around them to join them in concluding that men has come. And they do not only conclude, but they now leave it that men has come. They now want to they do not want to. They start recruiting young believers, those that will believe with them and leave it that men has come. And they are so bitter that they are bitter women transferring bitterness to young girls without experience with men. They are interested in feeding them with the wrong ideas of what a relationship with a man should be. And now they now tell them, and it's now what feminism represents for them. What feminism now represents is that you, as a young girl, you should not, as a young girl, when you get married, that you should not wash your husband's clothes, you should not cook for your husband, you should not all those traditional duties that we grew up knowing that these are women's duties. I'm not saying that nobody is saying you're a maid, understand me. You're not a maid, and I am not saying you must do them. I'm not saying you must do them. I am not that backward. I understand the realities of times and all that. But I'm saying that it's not something you should decide within you. I'm not doing them. Not because you do not have the capacity of doing them. Not because you are busy with work. Not because you guys have machines and you have machines to wash, you have been made to cook, and you are busy with some other things. Maybe because of social status or because of your work and all that. Maybe you have the ability, you have the time, you have the space to do all these things. But the reason you're not doing it is because you don't want to be a maid, because it is against feminism, because feminists have told you it's not the right thing. That is totally wrong, and that's the issue that I have with this brand of feminism that is being practiced by some Nigerian women, some African women. It's not everything that we should borrow from the Western world. You are an African woman and you should maintain your Africanness. Washing for a man does not make you less of a woman. Okay, don't worry. This is something. So this video will not be long. This is something we're gonna talk about some other time. You're not more powerful by toughening up as a woman. You're not more powerful by toughening up as a woman. When you toughen up as a woman, you actually lose the respect of men. I am telling you, and I know it. You actually lose the respect of men. Men will no longer respect you. You will just become another man. Men will regard you as just another guy. Hey nigga, you'll be packing your inexistent blockers. Good and fine. But I am telling you that your power as a woman is when you are feminine. So, this is me. Like I always, I don't know if I'm the right person to call for this, to advocate for this or what. But retain your femininity. Do not subscribe to that brand of feminism that says that you should not wash for your husband or for your man. You should not cook for him. You should not do those house duties. And that if he talks one, you should talk 10. Stand up to them. Stand up to man. Don't let any man make you a punching bag or see you as a pet or as a toy to be toyed with. Far from it. God forbid it, Lord, that I advocate for that. But what I'm saying is, you see that traditional understanding of the traditional African understanding of a man and a woman's union. We should hold it and maintain it dearly as Africans. Look at today now, look at how high rate of divorce every day. If lawyers tell you how many divorce cases they handle on a daily, you'll be surprised. Nobody reports that. There are many more newsworthy things to be reported by the media than reporting 1,000 divorces that happened there. If we, for instance, if we were to get statistics of the divorces that happened in 2021 that you know that just ended, I'm sure we'll be counting up to thousands. Why? Because our traditional understanding of marriage, the union, the relationship that used to happen between our fathers and our mothers has been eroded by wrong teaching of some of these bitter women. So my call and what I'm saying is that we should drop that kind of teaching. That kind of feminism should not be advocated. The feminism that should be advocated is there are places in Nigeria, there are places in Africa where female genital mutilation is still going on. These are the kind of things that these feminists should carry placards and protest against. There are so many women that are out there, you know, just because their husband died and left a lot of property and wealth. Now the family of the husband is denying them, the family is denying the woman, you know, access to these property because, you know, she's a woman and because the children are not grown. Sometimes because they are yet to have a child. Yes, because they are yet to have a child and they feel like, oh, you don't have a child, therefore you have no access to our brother's wealth. Or your children are young. We're gonna divide the property into three. They will give you one out of mercy and out of pity. These are things that feminists should concern themselves with. A lot of things, a lot of women's rights. That what feminism stands for traditionally. And you know that as time is going, as the realities of time as times, you know, are evolving, feminism will be incorporating so many other things along the line, you know, so many other realities and so many other needs of women. But it is not to be, you know, it's not to tell women to start punching men and to start, you know, standing up to men. Start talking when a man is talking. Start, you know that kind of feminism. No, now I have issues with that kind of feminism. I don't know what you think. I don't know how you see it. Do you agree with that kind of feminism, or do you have issues with me with it like I do? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll be glad to know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you think it should continue, brother? Feminism should continue, or you think it is very wrong and those people shouldn't? You know, those kind of people should not be meant to actually. Honestly, they shouldn't have a space. They shouldn't have a space in our society. Trust me, this is not about being intolerant, but they shouldn't have a space in our society. Some of our African values should be maintained, jealously maintained. And anybody that wants to bastardize that should not have a space in our social fabric. Thank you, and don't forget to let me know what you think. Please subscribe. I would like to see your subscription. See you next time. It's bye for now.